Picture this: the courtroom is silent, every eye fixed on the witness stand. A man, shaken but resolute, raises a trembling hand and points. "That's him," he says, his voice cracking. "That's the man who did it." The prosecutor sighs in relief, the jury leans in, and the accused's face turns ashen. It seems like an open and shut case. But what if I told you that in that pivotal moment, the witness pointed at the wrong person? Not just an innocent bystander, but someone who couldn't possibly have committed the crime. This isn't a scene from a Hollywood movie. It's the beginning of one of the most baffling and frustrating legal dramas in recent memory. Today, we are diving deep into a case where the smoking gun of eyewitness testimony turned out to be a complete misfire, unraveling a seemingly solid investigation and leaving everyone, from the police to the public, asking one terrifying question: if he didn't do it, who did? And where is the real culprit now? The story begins on a cold, drizzly night in a quiet suburban town. A popular local business owner was brutally attacked in his shop just after closing time. The community was shocked. He was a beloved figure, known for his generosity and kindness. The police launched a massive investigation, but leads were scarce. The crime scene was chaotic, offering little in the way of forensic evidence. The only break in the case came from a single witness, a delivery driver who claimed he saw a man fleeing the scene just moments after the attack. For weeks, the police worked with this witness, painstakingly creating a composite sketch. The sketch was plastered all over town, on the news, and online. The pressure to make an arrest was immense. Finally, an anonymous tip came in. The tipster claimed the man in the sketch looked exactly like a local drifter named Charles Miller. Miller had a minor criminal record, a history of being in the wrong place at the wrong time, and he fit the general description. The police brought him in for questioning. During the lineup, the delivery driver, our key witness, took his time. He paced back and forth, studying each man carefully. After several tense minutes, he stopped in front of Charles Miller. "It's him," he declared with confidence. I'll never forget that face. For the prosecution, this was the moment they'd been waiting for. Eyewitness identification is powerful, often seen by juries as irrefutable proof. With this, they felt they had enough to go to trial. The media frenzy exploded. Charles Miller was painted as a monster, and the public, desperate for justice, accepted the narrative. His fate seemed sealed before he even stepped foot in a courtroom. The trial began, and the atmosphere was electric. The prosecution laid out its case, centering everything on the eyewitness. The prosecutor walked the witness through the events of that night, building the tension. "And is the man you saw fleeing the scene in this courtroom today?" he asked. The witness scanned the room, his eyes landing on the defendant's table. He stood up, raised his arm, and with a voice filled with conviction, pointed directly at Charles Miller. "Yes," he said firmly. "That's the man." You could feel a collective gasp in the courtroom. It was the dramatic, damning moment the prosecution had promised. Miller's defense attorney looked defeated. How could you argue with what someone saw with their own two eyes? The cross-examination was brutal, with the defense trying to poke holes in the witness's memory, questioning the poor lighting and the fleeting glimpse he got. But the witness remained unshaken, his certainty unwavering. But then, the defense called its first witness. An unassuming, middle-aged woman took the stand. She was a librarian from a town over 100 miles away. The prosecution objected. Relevance? The judge allowed it. The defense attorney asked her a simple question: "Where were you on the night of the crime?" She explained that she was hosting her monthly book club meeting. "And who was in attendance?" The attorney continued. She listed several names, and then she said it. Charles Miller was there too. "He never misses a meeting." The courtroom erupted in murmurs. The prosecutor laughed it off, suggesting she was mistaken about the date. But the defense was just getting started. One by one, they called every single member of that book club to the stand. A retired teacher, a college student, a dentist, all upstanding citizens with no reason to lie. And one by one, they all told the same story. Charles Miller was with them, discussing a novel, at the exact time the crime was being committed over 100 miles away. They had photos from the meeting, with a time-stamped digital camera. There was Miller smiling, holding a cup of tea and a copy of the book. The alibi was ironclad. It was impossible for him to have been in two places at once. The prosecution's case crumbled in a matter of hours. The star witness was recalled to the stand, now looking confused and distressed. He was shown the photo of Miller at the book club. He stared at it, his confidence visibly draining away. "But it looks just like him," he stammered. his voice barely a whisper. He wasn't lying. He genuinely believed what he saw. But his memory had failed him, influenced by the power of suggestion, the composite sketch, and the pressure to identify someone. Charles Miller was acquitted of all charges and walked out of the courtroom a free man, but his life was in ruins. He had spent months in jail, his reputation destroyed, all because of a simple, catastrophic mistake. The case exposed a terrifying flaw in the justice system, the fallibility of human memory. Studies have shown that eyewitness testimony, while compelling, can be incredibly unreliable. Factors like stress, poor lighting, and even the way questions are asked can create false memories that feel as real as genuine ones. So, what happened next? The investigation was back at square one, but now with a cloud of embarrassment hanging over the police department. Public trust was shattered. The real perpetrator was still out there, having gotten away with it while an innocent man nearly paid the price. The case went cold. Years passed, and the file was relegated to a dusty shelf, another unsolved mystery. The victim's family never got the justice they deserved, and Charles Miller struggled to piece his life back together, forever marked by an accusation that was never true. This case serves as a chilling reminder of the immense responsibility that comes with being a witness and the critical need for law enforcement to corroborate eyewitness accounts with hard forensic evidence. It forces us to confront an uncomfortable truth: our eyes can deceive us, and in a court of law, that deception can have devastating consequences. The story isn't just about a legal blunder. It's a cautionary tale about the fragility of memory and the high stakes of justice. This case raises so many questions. How can the justice system better protect against false identifications? What technological or procedural safeguards can be put in place? While digital forensics and DNA have become powerful tools, this case highlights that old-fashioned police work and a healthy dose of skepticism are just as crucial. The reliance on a single, uncorroborated piece of evidence, no matter how convincing it seems, is a gamble with someone's life. For every case that gets overturned by new evidence, how many others are there where an innocent person remains behind bars because of a similar mistake? It's a sobering thought. This story didn't end with a neat resolution or a last-minute confession from the real killer. It ended in ambiguity and injustice, leaving a permanent scar on everyone involved. It reminds us that the pursuit of truth is often messy, complicated, and fraught with human error. What do you think? How could this have been prevented? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you find these deep dives into the complexities of the justice system compelling, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more true crime stories that will make you question everything. Thanks for watching.